Japan's attack on December 7, 1941, on the United States, memorably known as the Attack of Pearl Harbor, sparked the United States' decision to formally declare war on the Empire of Japan on December 8th. This included the United States in one of the most horrific wars, lasting 6 years and leaving an estimate of more than 55 million people wounded, killed, or missing. During this time, men were being enlisted in the military, leaving their wives to support their family as long as they were separated. The soldiers' wives were determined women who balanced their work life with their family life. The women during this time would often stay at home with their kids and open childcare, while some optimistic women would find a job in typically masculine jobs such as factories, producing munitions, building ships, and airplanes. Propaganda began to flood America, encouraging women to work in companies desperate for workers. However, when the women entered the jobs, they would struggle with rude remarks from men co-workers, dangerous conditions such as crowdedness, lack of safety regulations around machines, and lack of windows. They would also deal with long hours. Most working women did not get paid enough to support their family and often earned less than their male co-workers. It was during this time women were starting to fight for equal pay. The brave few were often overlooked by the government due to them not wanting to raise tension in America while at war. Black and white workers, both women and men, were separated due to the segregation during this time. Most companies would ask for specific races. In their neighborhood, the working wives would be met with the opinions of men and housewives who looked down upon the idea of women working and not having a husband protecting and supporting them. At home, they would have to perform the traditional female roles, scraping up food to feed their family, cleaning around the house, and making sure the children were taken care of. In their spare time, the working wives would listen to the radio, read and send letters to their husbands and distant relatives, and often dance to rock and blues. I used to work from sunset to sundown and sometimes even later. I worked in a factory making shotguns. It was very dangerous. I would constantly see someone hurting themselves on big tall machines. Sometimes I would worry if there was a fire. I would have no way to escape because there were no windows. Anyway, when I came home, I usually would cook a meal after a long day for my family and tuck everyone to bed and tidy a bit around the house. Then I sit down and read my husband's letter. It is horrifying what goes on there. His letters are always short, but in it he describes the constant sounds of screams, desperate moans, guns, and footsteps from both sides. He talks about the support the Army nurses are to the soldiers. They are helping everyone. He discusses the new battle of Lavette Gulf that nearly destroyed the Japanese Navy powerful force. Although it's a victory, I can't be happy. He said Japanese pilots were killing themselves crashing into targets. I can't read much without tearing up, so I put the paper down and usually listen to the radio and dance to the blues or the rock, and sometimes I read the paper, but after hearing Nazi leaders is coordinating a system genocide for Jews, I no longer read much.